The deer basically they come with a brolic. Yo, I don't know. CGI is crazy. They came with a brolic deer out here, like
Yeah,
he's Terry Crews of deer, man.
yeah. Dancing and everything.
Crazy.
I mean, to sum it up, while planes were crashing at beaches and a lot of things happening, only at the end to see when they were looking for Rose, Amanda, and Ruth, Scott was standing in the forest looking at New York City, basically getting bo-
Bombarded. Yeah.
yeah, bombarded, while the last scene of the show was saying, hey, was Rose going to the house that she saw in the woods, which apparently had a war. Well, it's a bunker. It had a bunker built in. And shortly before that, that's when basically G.H. Scott told everything he knew that he had. So those stories that he had a client, the client is a very powerful man. The client called him and said, "Can you transfer my money for me?" And then he said, "Hey, I wish you good luck." And at the end of the show, he talked about the attack. It was an attack because the his client was in the military industry or weapons industry, and at that point they realized they he said, "Yeah,
Ran,
I what
he ran a couple of scenarios for his client, and
yeah
one of them was basically what is the most efficient way to organize a coup in a country, or making sure destabilizing a country. And that's basically he explained the whole scenario, what he has tested for his he has ran tests for his client. And basically what we were seeing were basically the that scenario. And one thing I have to say is that while Amanda was looking for I forgot her name, Rose, with Ruth, they basically when they saw New York being attacked, and they also looked at it's a lot of things, right? Before leaving the house to go to Danny's house, they Ruth basically agreed with Scott to put their timing at 1 hour. So within an hour, he should be back and pick her up. If not, um, whatever happens. They go to Danny to help the son of Amanda because his teeth were falling out. And basically, Danny tells you the full conspiracy of probably what happened.
yeah
And then you think first you thought it was the bug that bit him, but it wasn't the bug. It's probably the sound that really did the made
the
his teeth fall out.
yeah
And at the end, well, they almost blew each other's.
brains out.
It was a standoff for a
Mm.
second. And after that they came to agreement to give him some pills. And during that talk, basically what Danny told them is that their neighbor has a bunker. And while they were basically, like you said, Danny was not Danny Scott was telling the plot, basically what was happening. At the same time, they went back to what the 1 hour mark was getting off. So the alarm was going off for both Ruth and GH Scott. And then they went to the home, and you could see Rose basically eating, enjoying life, and going down to the bunker and finding out there was um, well, a ton of movies, series, and all.
Yeah, DVD players. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So basically, that's the movie, man. That's the movie. I think we can go now to the reception. the reviews. I think the reception was quite interesting. People were talking about conspiracies and all that joint.
Yeah, predictive. So like they're telling you what you're going to do or what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Some call it fiction, some call it fact. KR, what did it?
What
Well,
I thought about it, my
yeah,
opinion,
yeah,
it's an interesting movie. I don't think it's nothing out of the ordinary, other than who were behind it. Um,
yeah,
because if they weren't behind it, we probably wouldn't have gotten that much of a look. I think the plot is quite simple. Simple. Very simple actually. Um, the thing that I think they did a great job with the music, like you said. The sounds they chose, it's very nostalgic or horror like, horror
it's a
thriller like.
thriller. Yeah,
Yeah, but
yeah.
they chose at certain point they were very. It seemed like
Horror. Yeah,
it was edging towards horror, like the
that's
sound,
true. This, yeah,
the 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 deers coming and stand there. You don't know what they're gonna do. The deer basically they come with a brolic. Yo, I don't know. CGI is crazy. They came with a brolic deer out here, like
yeah,
he's Terry Crews of deer, man.
yeah. Dancing and everything.
Crazy. It was looking crazy, but they were basically. I mean, it was a trailer officially, but they were basically a lot of uh, aspect where you think, okay, this is a more typical sound they would use in horrors rather than thrillers. I think it was a I would give it a 7. The whole thing about conspiracy, maybe we'll talk about it in the next part. I think the reception was a bit off, to be honest. Um, like I said, I don't know if it's a 7. I wouldn't make it like it's one of the best movies I ever saw.
No.
It's one thing I'll say. Oh no, I'll talk about it in the next part. I'll talk about it in the next part.
Yeah.
You, what was your opinion of it?
Yeah, I think to me it was weird more than anything. It was definitely um eye opening. If I look at the
In what kind of sense?
so there are a lot of symbolisms there, and
Really?
one of the um with regards to the ratings and reception, IMDb gives it a 6.5. So you are a bit more generous than IMDb.
That means
For
that Rotten
that
Tomatoes gave
that
it a 4.
that rarely happens. Usually you give them less, let's say a lower rating. How much is Rotten Tomatoes? Let me know. In any case,
They
do
gave
you
him Rotten Tomatoes gave him 7.76%.
76%? Okay,
Yeah, the
7.6.
tomato meter
Yeah. So
is
but it's like it's still
almost
average, right?
34. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
average.
Yeah. So it's still average. So the
Usually Rotten Tomatoes is lower than IMDb, to be
yeah.
honest.